So today we are going to discuss one of the main component in your syllabus, right? That is LKAS 28, investment in associates and joint ventures. So this is like a definite question in your exam. See how many marks allocated for this particular standard, right? In each and every year, this has been tested for 20 marks, right? It means there will be a full question covering LKAS 28, investment in associates and joint ventures. So most of the time, right? So what you will get from here is you need to prepare a consolidated financial statement incorporating the investments in associates and investment in joint ventures. Consolidated financial statements under advanced financial accounting, you know how to prepare consolidated financial statements. In here, we discuss when there is an investment in associate, when there is an investment in joint venture, how and what entries we need to pass when it comes to preparing these consolidated financial statements. Right. Okay. So it's very difficult for me to explain how to prepare these consolidated financial statements in this screen, right? Screen again in the limited space consolidated financial statements. So we will conduct this into 2 sessions. So for today, I will give you the introduction piece, right? So what we supposed to do and what are the key adjustments we need to make. Then we will go for a full calculation based on your past paper on a later on session. Right. Investment, before coming to investment in associate, the investment in equity instruments, the investment in ordinary shares of any other company can be classified into one of the 4 groups. අපි වෙන මොකක් හරි company එකක equity shares acquire කරගන්නම නම් it is a form of investment. We have invested on the equity shares of another company. If we are XYZ company, we can acquire the shares of PQR company. නැත්තම් A කියන company එකේ shares ගන්න. නැත්තම් B කියන company එකේ shares ගන්නවා. Like that way we can acquire all the shares of other companies. These investments we can put into 4 baskets, one of the 4 baskets, right? So I will have it like this. Okay, I have given the recording, but these days when it comes to uploading, there are several issues. Upload කරන්න යද්දි පැය 4ක් 5ක් විතර යනවා upload වෙන්න. සමහර ඒවා upload වෙලා මොකද නවතිනවා. So better if you can stay online. Anyway, I am giving the recording, we'll try. Yeah. Right. Okay. So here, assume we are the company P. The company එක තමයි P කියලා කියන්නේ. We have acquired, let's say 80% of S. Right? One of our basket, right? මේ වගේ basket එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන් investment. Or assume we are the company called P. We have acquired 50% of the company called J and another company called X has acquired the remaining 50%. Right? Our investment can be in this nature. Or else we are P, we have acquired 25% of J, and X, Y, and Z companies, they also have acquired the same percentage, 25% each. Right? 25% each. This can be happen. And then the third scenario, we are the company called P. We may have acquired 30% of company A. Last case, we are company P. We may acquire 5% of company I. Now, by looking at these acquisition percentages, right? By looking at these acquisition percentages, we can classify what sort of investment are these. අපි මේ acquire කරගත්ත percentage තියා බලලා අපිට දැන් මේවා මොකක් කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? Classify කරන්න පුළුවන්. Probably you know. In the first case, SC is what for us? S කියන්නේ P ට කවුද? Who is S for P? P has acquired 80% of S Limited. Then SC is what? SC is a S කියන්නේ කවුද? These things you know. Advanced financial accounting එකකදී වුණා නේද? P කියන company, they have acquired more than 50% of the shares of S Limited. It means S is what? S is a subsidiary, right? S is a subsidiary for P. එහෙනම් අපි මොකක් හරි company එක shares 150කට වඩා එයාලගේ equity shares acquire කරගන්නවද, then it will be resulted in what relationship? Parent subsidiary relationship, right? So when there is a parent subsidiary relationship, what we need to do? We need to prepare consolidated financial statements, right? How to prepare? You have already discussed that under advanced financial accounting, right? Second year. Right. In the second scenario here, what kind of a relationship? Who is J for us? Yeah, I have given two examples. Example, in the first example, what has happened? P means us, our company, has acquired 50% of the company called J, and another company called X has acquired the remaining 50% of the same company. In the second example, we have acquired 25% of the company called J, and 3 other companies have acquired the same percentage. Then who is J for us? J කියන්නේ අපිට කවුද? Who is J for us? We what? Our company and the company called X jointly control this particular company. අපි X කියන company එකයි මෙන්න මෙයාව මොකක් කරනවද? කොහොමද control කරන්නේ? Jointly control කරනවා, right? Here also ourselves, X and Y and Z companies are jointly controlling this particular company. Therefore, this is a joint venture. Joint venture, we jointly control it, right? Joint venture. This is a joint venture. In the third scenario, what happened? Our company, the company called P, has acquired 30% of the company called A. අපි A කියන company එකේ 130ක shares අරගෙන තියෙනවා. It is not more than 50%. Therefore, this is not a subsidiary. That is obvious. And we are not jointly control these companies with other companies. Therefore, this is not a joint venture, but it is a considerable percentage, a significant percentage, right? So this is what? This is we called an associate. A is an associate for our company, the company P, right? Here,
Microphone is unmuted.
here, right? The last one, company P has acquired 5% of company I. Company I. So this is merely an investment. This is merely an investment. Right? අපි invest කරනවා අපිට dividend එකක් ලැබෙයි අපි ඕක record කරගෙන ඉන්නවා. That is all what we do here. Right? So likewise, based on the acquisition percentage, we can classify a particular investment into 4 categories. If it is 75%, what? It is a subsidiary. If it is, right, 2%, 3%, it is merely an investment. Like that way, based on the acquisition percentage, we should able to classify what kind of a company that is for the parent company. And acquisition percentage එක base කරගෙන අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕන මොන වගේ relationship එකක්ද තියෙන්නේ. parent company එකට ඔය company එක මොකක්ද වෙන්නේ? එයා subsidiary එකක්ද? එයා joint venture එකක්ද? එයා associate එකක්ද? නැත්නම් එයා නිකන් investment එකක් විතරද කියලා. Right? So here today we are supposed to discuss on this investment in associate. Right. So I told you this is an associate. P has acquired 30% of A. This percentage is significant. Therefore, A is an associate for P. So what is the term I have used there? 30% is a significant component, right? 30% is a significant component. Therefore, if, right, if there is a significant influence, this is the key term, significant influence. If a particular company can make a significant influence on another company, then that particular company deemed to be an associate of the parent company. අපිට මොකක් හරි company එකකට significantly influence කරන්න පුළුවන් නම්, right? If we can significantly influence for another company, then it is deemed to have the significant influence over that company. So what is this significant influence? මොකද මේ significant influence කියලා කියන්නේ? How LKAS 28 has defined this term, significant influence.
සැලකිය යුතු බලපෑම.
ඔව්, සැලකිය යුතු බලපෑම. සැලකිය යුතු බලපෑමක් කරනවද නැද්ද කියලා අපි අඳුනගන්නේ කොහොමද? How LKAS 28 has guided us on that. It means, right, the power to participate in operational and financial policy decision making. Right? It means when this particular company making operational policy decisions, when they are making their financial decisions, if we have the ability, right, if we have the power to participate in such situations, then it deemed to have, right, it deemed that we have the significant influence over that company. මෙයාලගේ operational and financial policy decisions වලට අපිට involve වෙන්න පුළුවන් නම්, අපිට participate කරන්න පුළුවන් නම් standard එකේ කියනවා, right? Then there we can assume we have the significant influence. Normally, right, if we have acquired a percentage between 20% to 49%, right? 20% to 49% acquisition percent api equity shares acquire කරගෙන තියෙනවා නම් on another company, then there we have the power to participate in operational and financial policy decision making. අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් company එක shares මෙන්න මේ range එක ඇතුලේ අරගෙන තියෙනවා නම් can be 20%, it can be 25%, it can be 30%, it can be 49%. If we have acquired equity shares of another company between this range, then we have the power to participate in their operational and financial policy decision making. අපිට යාලේ financial operating policy govern කරන්න බෑ. හැබැයි අපිට යාලා ඒ decisions ගන්න තැන් වලට participate වෙලා අපිට මොකක් කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? contribute කරන්න පුළුවන්. It means there we have the significant influence. If we have the significant influence, such companies we need to identify as associates, right? That is how the LKAS 28 has guided us on how to identify associates, how to determine whether a particular company is an associate for us or not. This is not the only criteria that need to be met, right? But this is the one we are mainly looking at. මේක විතරක්ම නෙවෙයි. තව තියෙනවා හේතු. අපිට the board of directors ලා 10 දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා නම් අපිට පුළුවන් නම් ඔය 10 දෙනෙක්ගෙන් 3 දෙනෙක් පත් කරගන්න. මෙයාලගේ board of directors ලා 10 දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා නම් if they have 10 board of directors, if we can appoint 3, if we can appoint 2, if we can appoint 4 out of them, still it is an associate for us. එතකොට board of directors ලා පත් කරනවා කියලා කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? Right? Board of directors 10 දෙනෙක් ඉන්න තැනකින් අපේ දෙන්නෙක් 3 දෙනෙක් නැත්නම් 4 දෙනෙක් එතන represent කරනවා කියලා කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? We have the power to participate in their operational and financial policy decision making. It means we have the significant influence. Therefore, it is an associate for us, right? But when it makes to do the calculations and all, this is right what we establish. If we have acquired between 20% to 49% of equity shares of another company, then we have the significant influence. Therefore, that is an associate for us, right? Okay. So that is how we determine whether a particular company is an associate or not. එතකොට මොකක් හරි company එකක් අපිට associate එකක්ද නැද්ද කියලා අපි establish කරන්නේ ඔතනින්. ඔය විදිහට තමයි determine කරන්නේ. And once we determine this is an associate for us, right? Sorry. Once we determine that this is an associate for us, standard requires us to use this particular accounting method called equity accounting method. Especially when preparing consolidated financial statement. So, right? When preparing separate financial statements, can P යාගේ තනි යාගේ separate financial statements හදද්දී when they have an associate, right? When preparing separate financial statements, they can go for cost approach, they can go for fair value approach, or they can go for equity method approach. But when preparing consolidated statement of, right, consolidated financial statement, no options, right? Equity accounting method need to be used. Associate එකක් තියෙන වෙලාවට consolidated financial statements හදනවා නම් අපි පාවිච්චි කරන්න ඕන මෙන්න මේ method එක. Equity accounting method. Right. So here under equity accounting method, what is this equity accounting method? Right? Equity accounting method. Under equity accounting method, this is what we all do. We have an investment. We do invest no. මේ 30% acquire කරගන්න අපි කීයක් හරි ගෙවනම ඇති. We need to incur cost to acquire this 30%. Right? Investment at cost. Investment and cost. Because of this investment, there will be a goodwill, or else there will be a gain on bargain purchase. I am referring to two of the terms you have met here. Acquire කරගනිද්දී මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ? එක්ක goodwill එකක් තියෙයි, එහෙම නැත්නම් gain on bargain purchase එකක් තියෙයි. When it comes to associate, investment in associate, if we have a goodwill, right, we do nothing because it is embedded in the investment value. Right? You will get to know this once we go for sums. For the moment, if there is a goodwill, it does not appear in our financial statement. In a parent subsidy relationship, goodwill එකක් generate වුණොතින් අපි මේ goodwill එක මොකක් කරාද? අපි පොත්වලට අරගෙන ආවා. Under non-current assets, we have showed what is the goodwill amount. But in associate, we are not going to do like that. It means as a result of the acquisition of an associate, a goodwill will not be generated. එතකොට associate එකක් acquire කරගනිද්දී subsidiary වල වගේ මොකක් වෙන්නේ නැද්ද? Non-current assets වල goodwill කියලා amount එකක් පෙන්වන්නේ නැහැ. Right? Right. So investment and cost. But if there is a gain on bargain purchase, that one we need to consider, right? If there is a gain on bargain purchase as a result of the acquisition, that one we do need to consider and take it into our books of accounts. Goodwill එක පොත්වලට අරන් ආවේ නැහැ because it is embedded in the investment. Investment එක ඇතුලේ ඔක තියෙනවා. Goodwill එක. ඒ නිසා අපි මෙතනදී එයා වෙනම අරන් ඉන්නේ නැහැ. But if there is a gain on bargain purchase, it is not reflecting this value. Investment value එකෙන් ඒක reflect වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Therefore separately we need to identify it. Right? So for the investment at cost value, we need to add the gain on bargain purchase if there is any. තිබ්බොතින් විතරයි යා. Goodwill නැත්තම් gain on bargain purchase. ඔය දෙක එකක් නේ තියෙන්නේ. ඒකට goodwill තිබ්බොතින් අපි මුකුත් කරන්න යන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. Gain on bargain purchase එකක් තිබ්බොතින් ඒක investment cost එකට එකතු වෙන්න ඕනේ. Right. Then for this we are going to add, right, profit for the year plus other changes in reserves. Other changes in reserves into parents percentage. Right? It means after the acquisition, this company may have earned a particular profit. Right? For the respective year we are considering. අපි acquire කරගත්තට පස්සේ, right? අපි account හදන period එකට අදාළව මෙයා profit එකක් earn කරලා ඇති. That is what we take profit for the year. Right? After acquisition, profit for the year. And there may be changes in the reserve values. අපි acquire කරගනිද්දී general reserves 1000යි, right? අවුරුද්දකට පස්සේ 1200යි. There is a change of 200. Like that way there can be changes in the reserve values, right? From those changes in the reserve values as well as from the profit for the year figure of this particular company of our associate, we need to consider the parents percentage, right? Parents percentage. And then from that we need to deduct if we have received any dividends received. Here also අපිට ගානේ කෙලින්ම කියනවා නම් අපිට ලැබුණු dividends මෙච්චරයි කියලා that particular amount නැත්නම් යාලා declare කරපු dividends general term එකෙන් දෙනවා නම් then also we need to be careful that we need to apply our percentage. අපි කීයක් acquire කරන් තියාගෙන ඉන්නවද ඒ acquire කරගත්ත percentage එක තමයි apply කරන්න ඕන. Right? Dividends received. And again, if there is any impairment, we need to deduct that as well. Impairment. Right? Impairment. So this is simply we called what? This is simply we called the equity method of accounting. ලොකු වචනයක් දැම්මට මෙන්න මේ දේ කරන එකට තමයි අපි කියන්නේ, right? If we have done this, right, it means that we have followed the equity method of accounting. If we have done this, it means we have followed the equity method of accounting. So, right, I do not have enough space here. I will take it here. When it comes, right, as a result of investment in associate, right, we are not going to do any line by line addition. Right? We are not going to do any line by line addition. No line by line addition. What do you mean line by line addition? What do you mean by this line by line addition? You know this. When we have subsidiaries, right, and when we prepare in consolidated financial statement, what we has done? Parent company ke other receivables තිබ්බ 1000ක්, subsidiary එකේ තිබ්බ 500ක්. එහෙනම් consolidated financial statement එක හදද්දි මොකද්ද කරේ? balance sheet එක හදද්දි මොකද්ද කරේ? 1000 plus this 500, we have taken it as 1500. Liabilities wala, if parent company has 200 and subsidiary has 300, 200 plus 300 we have taken as 500 into our consolidated statement of financial position, right? That is what we say we do line by line addition with respect to assets and liabilities. But here, when it comes to associates, we are not going to do that. Right? Methendi api line by line add karanne yanne with respect to assets and liabilities. Parent company ke inventory mechara, associate ke inventory mechara. The consolidated financial statements hadaddi api oy deka ekathu karanne yanne naha. Simply that. Liabilities wala toy deema thamai. We are not going to do any line by line addition. Right? Here, as a result of investment in associate, we will have this share of profit, something called share of profit in our consolidated statement of profit and loss. Right? Api associate එක invest කරද්දී consolidated financial statements prepare කරද්දී appear වෙන්නේ දේවල් දෙකයි. Mainly there will be two things. One is share of profit, right? Consolidated statement of profit and loss again, share of profit. What is the share of profit figure? That one we need to recognize. And the other thing is, right, investment in associate. Investment in associate. This is appear in our consolidated statement of financial position under non-current assets. Investment in associates. In a consolidated financial statements baladdi with respect to associates, we can identify most of the time only these two line items. If we see the P&L, we can see only the share of profit. And if we go through the balance sheet, we can see the investment in associate amount under non-current assets. Apart from that, we are not going to do any line by line addition with respect to investment in associates, right? Okay, so if I put these information into an T account, right? So this is our investment in associate account, right? All these things I have mentioned in your presentation slide, so I will explain like this, and then we'll go to the presentation, right? Investment in associate account. So first what we need to do, we need to record the investment at cost, right? Investment at cost. Investment at cost. Investment at cost. This is, right, we need to debit it here. So the investment in associate කියන account එකට අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලා මොකද කරන්නේ? Investment at cost. අපි මෙන්න මේ 30% acquire කරගන්න කීයක් incur වුණාද, that particular amount we need to debit to our investment in associate account. So where is the credit entry here? And investment at cost we have debited to our investment in associate account. Where is the credit entry? මෙයා debit වුණා නම් තව කොහේ හරි credit වෙන්න එපා. කොහාටද credit කරන්නේ? Where? Cash, right? Cash account. Cash account credit. acquire කරගන්න අපිට නිකන් දෙන්නේ නැහැනේ. අපි සල්ලි දෙන්න ඕන. සල්ලි දුන්න තින් තමයි අපිට equity shares ගන්න පුළුවන්. සල්ලි දීලා තමයි equity shares ගන්න වෙන්නේ. invest කරන්න වෙන්නේ. Right? So cash account credit, investment in associate account debit. This is we have what we have accounted. Then if we have, right, if we have so if we have generated a goodwill, what we do, මෙයාගෙන් 30% acquire කරගත්ත නිසා goodwill එකක් generate වුණා නම් අපි මොකද්ද කරන්නේ? That one I have told. As a result of this acquisition, we have acquired 30% of A. As a result of this acquisition, if we have generated a goodwill, with respect to that goodwill, what we need to do, right? What we need to do, මෙයාගෙන් 30% acquire කරගත්ත නිසා goodwill එකක් generate වුණා. goodwill එකක් 500ක goodwill එකක් generate වුණා කියලා හිතන්න. ඔය 500ට අපි මොකද්ද කරන්නේ? What we need to do? We do nothing. goodwill එකක් නම් අපි consider කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. ඒක මෙයාගේ ඇතුලේ තියෙනවා. We don't not want to bother. Right? If it has generated a goodwill, we do not need to do anything. But if there is a gain on bargain purchase, what we need to do? If there is a gain on bargain purchase, we need to add it to our investment in associate account. Right. If there is a gain on bargain purchase, we debit it to our investment in associate account. Gain on bargain purchase එකක් තිබ්බොතින් investment in associate account එක debit. Where to credit? කොහාටද credit කරන්නේ? Where to credit? This should be credited to retained earnings, right? Retained earnings credit. the gain on bargain purchase amount, investment in associate account debit, retained earnings credit. Right. Now here, profit for the year into parents percentage. If they have, right, if they have generated a profit of 1,000 of the year following the acquisition, acquire කරගත්තට පස්සේ අවුරුද්දේ 1000ක profit හොයලා නම් 1,000 into parents percentage 30%, 300. How can we account for that? Profit for the year into parents percentage. What we need to do? What we need to do? Right? That is our what? Share of profit. ඕකට තමයි අපේ share of profit එක කියලා කියන්නේ. That one we need to debit to our investment in associate account, and where to credit? Where to credit?
Return earning.
Yes, retained earnings credit. Retained earnings credit. Likewise, if there are changes in reserves for the changes after the acquisition, what we need to do? The same, right? Changes in reserves, right? Changes in reserves. That is what I have wrote here. You may not be able to see, right? Changes in reserves. We need to debit the investment in associate account, right? Changes in reserves. Changes in reserves into what? Parents percentage. Okay, general reserves 1000ක් තිබ්බා acquire කරගනිද්දි acquire කරගත්තට පස්සේ අවුරුද්දේ 1200යි after 1 year. So there is a change of 200. We are not taking that 200 here, but what? 200 into 30%, 60. 60 is the figure we are considering here. Debit to our investment in associate account, where to credit? Credit to the respective reserve account. Right? Credit to the respective reserve account. Okay. So I'm tallying this equity accounting method with this T account, right? මම මේ කරන දේ තේරෙනව නේද? මේ equity method of accounting කියලා කියන්නේ මෙන්න මේක කියලා මම කිව්වා. I am taking that one to a T account for easy explanation. Right? Okay. So we have accounted for the investment at cost. We have accounted for the gain on bargain purchase. Right? We have considered the share of profit. And if there are changes in reserves, we have accounted for that. Then if we have received dividends, or if we, right, if we supposed to receive any dividends, how we need to account for that? මෙයා මොකද්ද කරන්නේ? අඩු වෙලානේ තියෙන්නේ. දැන් ඔයාලා පොඩි සෙන්ස් එකක් එනවා ඇති. මෙයා එකතු වුණා, මෙයාත් මේ පැත්තට ගියා. එකතු එකේ යටට මේ තියෙන්නේ. මෙයාත් මේ පැත්තට ගියා. මෙයා අඩු වෙලා. එහෙනම් මෙයා මොකද්ද වෙනව ඇත්තේ? Dividends received, investment in associate account එකේ debit the credit, right? It should be credited to our investment in associate account. Dividends received, right? Investment in associate account credit. Investment in associate account, yes, credit, correct. So where is the debit entry here? On dividends received, investment in associate. ඒ කියන්නේ මෙයාලා dividend declare කරලා දැන් අපේ percentage එක තියෙනවනේ. මෙයාලා 1000ක dividend declare කරොත් එකෙන් කීයක් අපේද? 300ක් අපේ. If they have declared dividend of 500, 150 is belonging to us. That 150 we have credited to our investment in associate account. ඔය කිව්ව 150 තමයි මේ credit කරේ. Dividends received කියලා. Where to debit? Where to debit? If they have declared dividend, we have credited our percentage, right? Dividends reserved. එයාලා dividends ගෙවද්දි මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ? It is not retained earnings. Retained earnings debit වෙන විදියක් නැහැ කොහොම. අපිට dividend කියන්නේම ආදායමක් වෙනකොට. මෙයා මෙයාලා dividends කියවදී අපිට මොකකින්ද හම්බෙන්නේ? cash වලින් ලැබුණොත් මොකක් debitද? cash debit. ලැබුණ නැත්නම් ලැබෙන්න තියෙනවා නම් මොකද්ද? Dividends receivable account debit. Right? If we have already received this dividend in cash, cash account debit, investment in associate account credit. If we have not received it, then dividends receivable account debit, investment in associate account credit. That is on dividends. Impairment, with respect to this acquisition, if we have identified an impairment, right, what we do? Debit the credit the investment in associate. What we need to do? We need to credit, right? We need to credit our investment in associate account. Impairment. Credit. Where to debit? Debit it to retained earnings. Impairment. Right? Impairment, retained earnings, debit, investment in associate, credit. Yes, correct. Right. So this is simply what we called the equity method of accounting. Right? Equity method of accounting කියලා කියන්නේ ඔකට. Right. So before moving to the presentation, again I will explain you how to calculate goodwill and gain on bargain purchase. This is something you know. Right. මෙන්න මෙතෙන්දී කරපු දෙයට සමාන දෙයක් තමයි මෙතෙන්දිත් අපිට කරන්න තියෙන්නේ. If we need to find the goodwill or the gain on bargain purchase generated because of the acquisition. මේක ස්පේස් එක මත වෙන්නේ. Right. Come on, I will have it here. මෙතන මම මේක පෙන්නන්න. Right. We are the company P. I'm taking the same example. What we have done, we have acquired 30% of A. Assume this particular acquisition has happened on 1st of January 2021. On 1st of January 2021, we have acquired 30% of A. It means we have what? We have the power to participate in their operational and financial policy decision making. Why? We have acquired the percentage in between this 20% to 49%. It means what we have? We have the significant influence over this company. Therefore, it is an associate for us. Right? And to acquire this 30%, assume we have paid 1,000. මේ 30% මෙයාගේ acquire කරගන්න අපි 1000ක් ගෙවලා තියෙන්නේ. 1000ක් ගෙවලා තමයි 30% of equity shares we have acquired. And as at the acquisition date, on this date, then we need to see, right, what are the net assets, right? What is the net asset figure of the acquiree, right? අපි acquire කරගන්න company එකේ net assets කොහොමද තිබ්බේ කියන දේ අපි බලන්න ඕන. As at the acquisition date, මෙන්න මෙදාට. Net assets කියලා අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මොනවද තියෙන්නේ? Stated capital is there, right? Retained earnings is there. There can be revaluation reserves. There can be general reserves. So equity components එකනේ we call net assets. Assets minus liabilities. Net assets, right? Assets වලින් liabilities අඩු කරාට පස්සේ ඉතුරු වෙන්නේ මොනවද? Equity component. What is there under equity? There can be there is stated capital amount, there is the retained earning amount, right? General reserves තියෙන්න පුළුවන්, revaluation reserves තියෙන්න පුළුවන්, other reserves තියෙන්න පුළුවන්, right? So those are the possible line items that we can observe under equity, which we called the net assets. Right? Assume as at the acquisition date, they have a stated capital of 1,200 and retained earnings of 800. Acquire කරගන්න දවස වෙද්දී අපේ associate එකේ net assets තිබ්බේ මෙන්න මේ ගණන් වලට. එයාලගේ මේ මෙදාට එයාලගේ balance sheet එක බැලුවොත් එයාලගේ stated capital එකේ 1200ක් පෙන්නනම ඇති, retained earnings 800ක් පෙන්නනම ඇති. It means the total net asset amount is how much? 2,000. Right? The total net asset amount is 2,000. What is the percentage we are acquiring? Right? We are not going to acquire all these 2,000. මෙයාලගේ සම්පූර්ණ company acquire කරගන්නේ නැහැ. Only what percent? 30% of this we are acquiring. මෙයාලගෙන් 30% තමයි අපි acquire කරගන්නේ. It means how much of net assets? Net assets වලින් නම් කීයක් acquire කරගන්නවද? As at the acquisition date, they have a total net assets worth of 2,000. Out of that, we are going to acquire 30%. It means how much? 2,000 into 30%? 600. Right? To acquire 600 of net assets, how much we are paying? We are paying 1,000. මෙයාලගේ 600ක net assets acquire කරගන්න අපි කීයක් ගෙවනවද? To acquire 600 of net assets, we are paying 1,000. So there is a gap. Gap එකක් තියෙනවනේ කීයකද? There is a gap of 400. So what is this gap? දැන් උත්තර දෙකයි තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද්ද? Either it can be goodwill, if not, it is the gain on bargain purchase. එක්ක මෙයා goodwill වෙන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම නැත්නම් මොකක් වෙන්න ඕනද? Gain on bargain purchase. Now it's time for you. Tell me, what is this? උත්තර දෙකක් දුන්නා. ওই දෙකෙන් එකක් තමයි මේ. මේ 400 goodwill එකද? එහෙමත් නැත්නම් gain on bargain purchase value එකද? What? Right? So what is this? Chat එකේ එනේම කියවන්න පොඩක් අමාරුයි. If you can unmute and talk, it's better. Right? Goodwill කියලා කියනවා. What about others? Gain on bargain purchase කියලා කියනවා. Okay, I received both the answers. දෙකෙන් තියෙන පුළුවන් answers දෙකම ලැබුණා. Again goodwill. What is this? 600ක් වටින net assets ගන්න. Right? To acquire net assets worth of 600. How much we are paying? We are paying 1,000. Right? We are paying 1,000. 600ක් වටින එක ගන්න අපි 1000ක් ගෙවනවා. එහෙනම් වැඩිපුර ගෙවන්නේ ඇයි? වැඩිපුර ගෙවන්නේ ඇයි? මෙයාගේ මොකකටද? වැඩිපුර ගෙවන්නේ එයාගේ goodwill එකට. Therefore this 400 is the goodwill amount that has been resulted from the acquisition. Right? So 400 is the goodwill, as most of you has answered. Yes, 400 is the goodwill amount. Why? To acquire 600 of net assets, we pay 1,000. 400 in additional. Right? In additional for what? For the goodwill of the associate, for the goodwill of the company that we are acquiring. Goodwill. If this was the other way around, okay, අනිත් පැත්ත වුණා නම්, right? I will have it like this. Right? හිතන්න acquire කරගන්න දවසේ net assets, stated capital and retained earnings. Stated capital 5,000 and retained earnings 1,000. So total net assets we have 6,000. Out of this 30% means what? 6,000 into 30% means 1,800. To acquire 1,800 worth of net assets, we are paying 1,000, right? So then in such situation, this difference of 800 we need to recognize as gain on bargain purchase, right? යාලගේ net assets වලට වඩා වැඩිපුර amount එකක් අපි ගෙවනවා නම් අපි invest කරනවා නම් යාලා acquire කරගන්න, that is a goodwill. If the other way around, it is the gain on bargain purchase, right? See here, why we have not taken the goodwill? This is already embedded here. Goodwill එක මේක ඇතුලේ තියෙනවා, right? Again, we do not need to pass any entry. But what happens for gain on bargain purchase? අපි මෙයා විතරයි අරන් යන්නේ. මේ 800 account වෙලා නැහැ. That is why separately we recognize in gain on bargain purchase, right? So that is basically what you need to understand in terms of investment in associates, right? Okay, clear? මොන වගේ දෙයක්ද වෙන්නේ කියලා පැහැදිලිද? Okay. So when we are doing some consolidated sums, you will understand how we need to account, right? The things will be understood better. Okay. Right. So now I will move to the presentation. Right. Learning objectives and content, that is up to you. So, right. These are the things we have discussed. Right. ඔය දේවල් ටික තමයි අපි කතා කරේ. Right. An investment in which a parent company has significant influence. This is the key term. Is known as an associate. If we have the significant influence over another company, that is an associate for us. The principles of equity accounting are applied. Now you know what is equity accounting, right? Equity method of accounting කියුවොත් මොකද්ද මේ කියන්නේ කියලා ඔයාලට අදහසක් තියෙනවා. Right. So I have given you the definition. What is an associate? What do we mean by significant influence, right? And what is the equity method of accounting? These things already we discussed, right? Okay, associate now කියවෙන්න ඕන දේ මොකද්ද? Significant influence කියන එක. We have a significant influence over another company, then it is an associate. Significant influence means what? The power to participate. Power to participate for what? Financial and operational policy decisions, right? Significant influence, if we have 20% or more, to be exact, if we have the acquisition percentage between 20% to 49%, then we say we have the significant influence. And I told you it is not only the criteria, right? The existence of significant influence is evidence in one or more of the following ways. If we can properly establish that these things are met, still we can say that we have the significant influence. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට බලන්න percentage එක දිහා තමයි ඇත්ත. In your exams also we are looking at the percentages, but right, if we can strongly establish that these things are there, still we can say, right, we have the significant influence over the respective company, right, over the company under consideration. Representation on the board of directors of the investee, right? 20% වලට වඩා කියන්නේ සම්පූර්ණ board of directors ලගෙන් 20% වලට වඩා appoint කරගන්න පුළුවන් නම් still we say we have the significant influence. Participation in the policy making process, material transactions, right, interchange of management personnel, provisions of essential technical information, right? These are also the things we can take into consideration when establishing, when determining whether we have the significant influence or not. Equity method of accounting, we have discussed the same thing, right? How these things appear in the form of T accounts, we have discussed, right? The principles of equity accounting: a single figure for investment in associates is shown in the consolidated statement of financial position. I told you we are not going to do any line by line addition. In terms of investment in associates, what only will appear in our financial statement is what? Under non-current assets, what is the investment in associate amount? The carrying amount of the investment in associate account. Presentation file means this one. This one I have already uploaded to the Google Classroom, right? Google Classroom eකට upload කරලා තියෙන්නේ. And other standards also I have uploaded. I think I have uploaded all, right? All the materials I have uploaded, so you can refer. Okay, so we were here, principles of equity accounting. As we are not doing line by line addition, in the consolidated statement of financial position, what we can observe, what we can see is only what? The carrying amount of the investment in associate account. In the consolidated statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, the group share of profit or loss or the associate is recognized, right? Share of profit figure. එතකොට අපි associate එක invest කරලා තියෙනවා නම් consolidated P&L එක බලද්දී share of profit figure එකක් එතන appear වෙන්න ඕන. Balance sheet එකේ investment in associate කියලා ඒකේ amount එක at the end of the year we need to identify. Right. Example number 1. On 1st of July 2017, the Atukorala Group acquired 40% of the voting shares in Ranjit Company at a cost of 300 million paid in cash. 40%. 40% has been acquired. So it is so we can, what company? Atukorala Group. So Atukorala Group has the significant influence over Ranjit Company. So Ranjit Company is an associate for Atukorala Group, right? Ranjit Company made profits of 12 million in the year ended 31st December 2017 and 25 million in the year ended 31st December 2018. What is required? We need to record the journal entries for the given 3 items. Right. Recognition of the initial investment. What is the initial investment amount? What is the initial investment amount? That is, right? That is 300 million rupees. So how can we account for this? How can we account for this? I will have the answer here. What is the double entry we need to pass? කතා කරලා තියෙන්නේ. Investment at cost. What is the double entry? Investment in associate account debit. 300, right? Rupees in millions. 300 million. I will say 300 million. Where to credit? Credit entry කොහාටද යන්නේ? Where to credit? Cash. Cash account credit 300 million. Right? 300 million. Then share of profit recognition in Atukorala Company for the year ended 31st December 2017. share of profit for the year ended 31st December 2017. How much of profits they have made? 12 million, right? Ranjit company, our associate, has made a profit of 12 million in the year ended 31st December 2017. So how can we account for that? What is the double entry we need to pass? Acquire කරගන්නේ on 1st of July 2017, right? And this is year ended 31st December 2017. After the acquisition, how many months this particular company has been an associate for us? May financial year එක ඇතුලේ මෙයා අපේ associate එකක් විදිහට මාස කීයක් හිටියද? From 1st of July to 31st December, only 6 months, right? එහෙනම් ගෙඩිය පිටින් මට මෙයාගෙන් 40% ගන්න පුළුවන්ද? So we have to assume that the incomes and expenses have been evenly distributed throughout the year, right? That is an assumption we need to make. This 12 million is for the whole year. මුළු අවුරුද්දටම. ඒ කියන්නේ මෙන්න මෙහි ඉඳන් මුළු අවුරුද්දටම හොයපු ගාන තමයි 12 million. එහෙනම් මාස 6කට කීයක් වෙන්නේ නැද්ද? 12 million into 6 over 12 කීයද? 6 million වෙන්නේ නැති. Evenly distribute වෙලා ගිහිල්ලා තියෙනවා නම් ආදායම් සහ වියදම්. For this 6 months, the profit they have earned may be 6 million. Out of this 6 million, we need to consider 40%, 2.4 million. Where to debit? Share of profit. Where to debit? කොහාටද debit කරන්නේ? අපි කතා කරා නේද? Where to debit? Where to debit? Share of profit. Where to debit? Where? Investment in associate account, debit. Investment in associate account, debit. 2.4 million. Credit කරන්නේ. This 2.4 million should be credited to where? කොහාටද credit කරන්නේ? Retained earnings. Right? නැත්තම් this is our what? Share of profit. Share of profit account එක credit. Ultimately it will appear in our retained earnings account. Right? 2.4 million. C වල කියන්නේ මෙතනින් පස්සේ 31st December 2018. For this 12 months, we have earned a profit of, not we, our associate has earned a profit of 25 million. Out of this 25 million, right, 40% we need to account as our share of profit figure. Means how much? Where 25 million වලින් 140ක්. අපේ share of profit එක. අපේ profit share එක 10 million. So how to account for that 10 million? Investment in associate account, debit. Right? Investment in associate account, debit 10 million. Where to credit? කොහාටද credit වෙන්නේ? Share of profit. Share of profit. Account, credit. It means retained earnings. Right? Credit 10 million. Those are the journal entries. Right? And in the second point, we asked to prepare what? Extracts from the consolidated financial statements. Right? Extracts from the consolidated financial statements. If we take consolidated statement of profit and loss, consolidated statement of profit and loss. Right? We have the year ended on 31st December 2017 and the year ended on 31st December 2018. With respect to this acquisition, with respect to this associate, what is the only line item that will appear in our consolidated statement of profit and loss? Associate එකක් acquire කරගත්තම consolidated statement of profit and loss එකේ appear වන line item එක මොකක්ද? Share of profit. නැත්නම් profit share. Share of profit. එහෙනම් මේ අවුරුද්ද කීයද? As for the year ended 31st December 2017, what is the share of profit that will appear in our consolidated statement of profit or loss? Here, 6 million into 40%, 2.4 million. Right? 2.4 million. In the year ended 31st December 2018, here, this one, 10 million. Consolidated statement of profit and loss. Then consolidated statement of financial position එකේ නම්. Right. So here it is asset. Asset, the same date, right? You know the dates. What is the only line item? What is the line item that will appear? Investment in associate. Investment in associate. Non-current assets. Under non-current assets, we need to show investment in associate, the carrying amount of the investment in associate account. Right? So what is the figure here? As at 31st December 2017, what is the carrying amount of the investment in associate account? කීයද එන්නේ මෙතනට? මේ investment in associate account කියලා කියන්නේ තොම T account එකක්නේ. මොකද්ද කරේ ඉස්සෙල්ලම? Investment at cost we have debited 300. Then we were in this year, the profit share was 2.4 million. That one we have again done what? We have debited 2.4 million to our investment in associate account. It means at the end of the year, or as at 31st December 2017, what is the carrying amount of our investment in associate account? මේ අවුරුද්ද ඉවර වෙද්දී අපි කීයක් brought forward කරනවද? 302.4 million. So that is what will appear in our consolidated statement of financial position as at 31st December 2017. Right? On the following year again, we have recorded our profit share, 10 million. That one, what we have done? Investment in associate account debit. Right? Investment in associate account debit. It means what will be the amount what is the amount that we need to brought forward? 312.4, right? 312.4 million. So that is the carrying amount of the investment in associate as at 31st December 2018. Right? So that is the answer for example number 1. The journal entries and how these things appear in our financial statements, right? In our consolidated financial statements. Okay. Right. See example number 2. On 1st January 2018, Haley's Group acquired 25% of Aqua Company. Now, by seeing at the percentage, we have the understanding 25%, right? It means it can be an associate. They may have the significant influence. Company at a cost of 150 million. Investment at cost 150 million. Aqua made profits in the year ended 31st December 2018 of 30 million rupees. Right? එතකොට profit share එකක් ඔතනින් ගන්න පුළුවන්. On 17th July 2018, Aqua Company declared an interim dividend of 5 million. Right? We need to record the relevant journal entries as I have discussed how to account for the investment at cost and the profit share. I'm not going to repeat the same thing here. So I will show you how to do this one, how to account for the dividend that they have declared. මේක කලින් එක වගේම තමයි. Investment at cost, investment in associate account debit, cash account credit. Profit share, investment in associate account debit, share of profit account or the retained earnings account credit. Right. So here they have declared a dividend of 5 million. So how to account this? They have declared dividend of 5 million. 5 million dividends declare කරාට ඔය 5 million ම අපේ නෙවෙයි. What is the percentage? 25%. So 5 million into 25%, 1.25 million. This is the amount that we need to pass the double entry. So what should be the double entry here? මෙතන pass වෙන්න ඕන journal entry එක මොකක්ද? Where to debit, where to credit? Dividends. What? Dividends. මේක මතකයි නේද? Dividends මොකක්ද කරේ? මේ dividends what we have done. Dividends what we have done. We have credited to our investment in associate account, right? We have credited to our investment in associate account, right? Investment in associate account credit. Investment in associate account credit 1.25 million. Where to debit? Where to debit this 1.25 million? Aqua Company declared an interim dividend means that we may not have still received it in cash. Therefore, we can debit it to a dividend receivable account. Dividend receivable account debit 1.25 million. Right. Okay. So if they have declared dividend, if our associate has declared dividend, this is the key entry that we need to pass. Right. So here allocation of cost price to net assets acquired, right, where the cost of the investment exceeds. This is how and what we need to do with respect to the goodwill generated through an acquisition and gain on bargain purchase generated through an acquisition. That one I have discussed. Right. And like in parent subsidiary relationship, here again we need to do we have some consolidation adjustments, right? We have some consolidation adjustments. An associate is not part of the single economic entity that forms a group. As a result, there is no need to eliminate intra-group transactions when equity accounting. It means simply what? We are not going to do line by line addition. If we are not going to do line by line addition, we do not need to set off any intercompany balances. Intercompany transactions, intercompany balances set off කිරීමේ අවශ්‍යතාවයක් නැහැ when it comes to investment in associates. But unrealized profits relating to intercompany sales and transfers of assets do require adjustments, right? What is going on, right? Unrealized profits relating to intercompany sales and transfer of assets do require adjustments. We need to adjust for the unrealized profits, right? So these, hope you know what are these. What do you mean by unrealized profit? දන්නව නේද? Consolidated financial statements හදලා. Therefore, I assume you know what is this unrealized profits that we have not actually earned, right? අපි ගාව parent ඉන්නවා, subsidiary ඉන්නවා, අපි consolidate කියලා මොකද කරන්නේ? මේ දෙන්නම එකට එකතු කරලා financial statements හදන එකනේ. ඒකට එකට එකතු කරලා හදද්දී, right, intercompany transactions නිසා profits generate වෙලා ඇති, right? මෙයා parent company subsidiary කරනවාදී මෙයාගේ parent company profit එකක් කියලා යාලා record කරන් ඇති. But ultimately, right, it is not an actual profit they have earned, right? So when it comes to advanced financial reporting, I will explain you again on this unrealized profit. ඊළඟ semester එකේ advanced financial reporting වල මම ආයේ unrealized profit කතන්දරය ඔයාලට කියන්න. Right? So here what you need to understand is, because of the intercompany sales and because of the transfer of assets, there may be adjustments we need to make. Right. Example number 3. Right. Example number 3. Love's Company PLC, a parent with subsidiary, holds 25% of the equity shares of Serendip Company. During the year, Serendip Company makes sales of 1 million to Love's PLC at cost plus 25% markup. At the year end, Love's has all these goods still in inventories. That is where these unrealized profits generated. අපි associate එකට විකුණන්නට කමක් නැහැ. associate එකත් ඒක එළියට විකුණලා. හැබැයි අපි විකුණු associate එකට විකුණපු එක එයාලගේ inventory එක ඇතුලේ තියෙනවා නම්, then it means we need to adjust for the unrealized profit. Love's and its subsidiaries have a consolidated year-end balance of 30 million and Serendip of 6 million. Right. We have an intercompany sales transaction. I will map the information here. Love's Company. This is our company. A parent with subsidiaries hold 25% of the equity shares of Serendip Company. We have acquired 25% of Serendip Company. Therefore, SC is what? SC is an associate for us. During During the year, Serendip Company makes sales of 1 million rupees to Love's PLC. Right? Sales transaction එකක් වෙලා. Intercompany sales transaction එකක් වෙලා. මොකක්ද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? Serendip has, right? Serendip has sold. Serendip Company makes sales of 1 million to Love's PLC, right? 1 million sale එකක් කරලා to Love's PLC at a cost plus 25% markup. 25% 25% markup. Markup margin. If it is markup, it means it is on cost. Margin, it is on sales price. Here, their pricing policy is what? 25% on markup. Right. At the year end, LKAS has all these goods. All these goods still in inventories. Again, at the end of the year, if we go on through the balance sheet of LKAS PLC, you can see this 1 million of inventory. මෙයාලගේ balance sheet එක බැලුවොතින් අවුරුද්ද අවසානයේ එයාලගේ inventories ඇතුලේ මෙන්න මේ 1 million figure එකක් තියෙනවා. Right. LKAS and its subsidiaries have consolidated year-end balance of rupees 13 million and sudden dip of 6 million. Right. So here we need to calculate the unrealized profit. URP. කොහොමද calculate කරන්නේ? How to calculate unrealized profit? All these 1 million is in the inventories of LKAS PLC. Million එකම තියෙනවා. Right? I will take it like this 1 million. Out of this 1 million, what is the profit? මේ sales figure එකනේ 1 million කියලා කියන්නේ. එහෙනම් ඔය 1 million ඇතුලේ profit කීයක් තියෙනවද? That is what we need to find. That is the unrealized profit. මේක මෙයාලගේ inventory එක ඇතුලේ තියෙන නිසා නම් මේක ඇතුලේ තියෙන profit එක කීයද? That is our unrealized profit amount. How to find? We have given this one 25% on markup. Cost plus a 25% markup. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? අපි profit එක ගන්න කොහොමද සාමාන්‍යයෙන්? How we take the profit? I will have it here. Selling price එකක් තියෙනවා. Selling price එකක් තියෙනවා. ඕකෙන් cost එක අඩු කරනවා. එතකොටනේ අපිට profit එක එන්නේ. මොම නේද? 25% markup නැත්නම් 25% on cost කිව්වොත් ඒ කියන්නේ cost එක 100 නම් 25% on it is the profit of us. 25% on cost, 25% on markup. If our cost is 100, it means our profit figure should be 25. Right? To make our profit 25, what should be the selling price? Now make it මෙතන එන්න ඕන figure එක කීයද? අපේ selling price එක වෙන්න ඕන කීයද? තුනවසර නෙමෙයි. දෙකවසර ගණිතය. මෙතන selling price එක වෙන්න ඕන කීයද? What should be the selling price here? මෙයාගෙන් මෙයා අඩු කරාම තමයි profit එක. If the cost is 100, profit should be 25. මෙන්න මෙයා බේස් කරන් ගත්තේ ඕක. එහෙනම් selling price එක කීයද? Selling price එක කීයද? Yes, 125. 125. Now tell me this 1 million. This 1 million කියලා කියන්නේ මෙයාද නැත්තම් මෙයාද නැත්තම් මෙයාද? What is that 1 million? What is that 1 million? What? This is the selling price. It means like this 125. මේ 125 වගේනේ නේද? මේ 1 million කියලා කියන්නේ selling price එක. මෙතනත් අපි හදාගත්ත එකෙත් මොකද්ද? selling price එක 125යි. එහෙනම් මොකද්ද මෙතන වෙන්නේ? 125ක් selling price එක වෙද්දී when the selling price is 125, what is the profit we take? What is the profit we can have? 25. Right? When the selling price is 125, the profit we can have is 25. Then if our selling price is 1 million, then what should be the profit in that? Right? Selling price එක 125ක් වෙද්දී profit එක 25යි නම් selling price එක 1 million වෙද්දී profit එක කීයද? That is our unrealized profit amount, right? I will take the same here. So what is the unrealized profit then? Now unrealized profit amount එක කීයද? What is the unrealized profit? 200,000, 20,000. 200,000, right? 200,000 is the unrealized profit. Then we need to consider the parents percentage. 20,000 අපිට accounts තියන්න බෑ. We need to consider the parents percentage. It means 20,000, 200,000, right? 200,000 into which percent? This percentage, 25%. May 25% කියලා කියන්නේ මෙයා නෙමෙයි ආ. මේ acquisition percentage. This one, 25%. 50,000. So for this 50,000, we need to pass the double entry, right? For this 50,000, we need to pass the double entry. So how the double entry should be? මේ 50,000ට තමයි අපි double entry pass කරන්න ඕන. කොහොමද double entry එන්නේ? Unrealized profit, profit which we have not actually earned. ඇත්තටම උපයෝග එකක් නෙවෙයි. Right? So we need to eliminate this. This 50,000 of profit is with whom now? මේ 50,000ක profit එක තියෙන්නේ කවුරු ගාවද දැන්? මේ 50,000ක profit එක තියෙන්නේ කවුරු ගාවද? LKAS company එක ගාවද? Serendip company එක ගාවද? With whom? Serendip has done this sale to LKAS. Then who may has earned the profit? එහෙනම් profit එක earn කරලා ඇත්තේ කවුද? මෙයා නම් මෙයාට විකුණලා තියෙන්නේ විකුණන එක්කෙනානේ profit එක earn කරන්නේ. It means yes, Serendip company, our associate may have earned this profit. So from his profit, we need to deduct this 50,000. Where is his profit reflected? එයාගේ profit එක reflect වෙන්නේ කොතනින්ද? කොතනද එයාගේ profit එක තියෙන්නේ? Investment in associate, right? So sorry, not investment in associate, right? එයාගේ profit share කොහාටද යන්නේ? Retained earnings වලට යනවා. මෙයාගේ profit එකෙන් එයා parent company එකට අයිති share කොහාටද යන්නේ? They are taking it to their retained earnings account. Therefore, where we need to debit? Retained earnings account need to be debited 50,000. Retained earnings account debit 50,000. Where to credit? Where to credit this 50,000? කොහාටද credit වෙන්නේ? Profit එකෙන් අයින් කරා. ආයේ කොතනද මෙයා ඉන්නේ? Profit එක ඇතුලේ මේ 50,000 තිබ්බ profit එකෙන් අයින් කරා. ආයේ කොතනද මේ 50,000 තියෙන්නේ? මෙයාගේ මොකක් ඇතුලේද? මෙයාගේ inventory එක ඇතුලේ තියෙනවා. එහෙනම් inventory එකමුත් මෙයාව අයින් වෙන්න ඕන. Right? Inventory account credit 50,000. So this is the double entry we need to pass with respect to this unrealized profit amount. Parents percentage, retained earnings account debit 50,000, inventory account credit 50,000. Right? Example number 3. And what should be the group inventory balance? Calculate the, what is here, I cannot see. prepare the adjustments required on consultation and calculate the reported group inventory balance. What should be the group inventory balance? Group inventory balance එක කීයද වෙන්නේ? What should be the group inventory balance? Here they say LKAS and its subsidiaries have a consolidated year-end balance of 13 million and Serendip of 6 million. LKAS වල inventory value එක 13 million, Serendip වල 6 million. So what should be the group inventory balance? Group inventory balance එක වෙන්න ඕන කීයද? What is appear in our consolidated statement of financial position as inventory? We are not doing any line by line addition. එතකොට මෙයාව consider කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. It is 13 million, and as a result of this we had to credit 50,000 to our inventory account. Credit means this is further deducting by 50,000. කීයද එතකොට? I got confused. $12,950,000. Right? 12,950,000. So this should be the group inventory balance. Remember, when it comes to associate, we are not going to do the line by line addition. Make a subsidy එකක් වුණා නම් මොකද කරන්නේ? 13 million වලට මේ 6 million තුත් එකතු කරලා තමයි මේ adjustment එක කරන්නේ. But here we are not going to do that. Right? Okay. Right. So example 4 again, right? Similar kind of thing which we have done previously in our example number 1 and 2, right? So I will not going to do it again. Joint arrangements, right? So joint arrangements can be classified either one of two categories, like joint operations and joint ventures. So these things I will discuss with your past papers, right? How to identify a joint venture I have already discussed, but how to account for a joint venture I will discuss with your past papers, right? So probably another 2 or maximum 3 sessions we may need to do with respect to this particular standard, right? So with that we will wind up for today's session. Okay, right? So during our next session I will try to discuss a complete section on this, right? How to prepare consolidated financial statements incorporating investment in associates. That one I will discuss during the next session. Okay. With that, shall we stop? We have done for almost 2 hours.